Panthers CB clears stance on Travis Hunter rivalry as Dave Canales confirms key roster update. The mention of the name Travis Hunter is sure to generate respectful nods throughout rival camps. Not just a good kid, he's a great kid, Browns owner Jimmy Haslam once said, but fate chose Jacksonville. And now, Hunter lands squarely in the sights of Panthers cornerback Jaycee Horn. After all, the two teams are facing each other in Week 1. So, even though Panthers training camp is in full swing, they have an eye out for all the possible opponents this season. A former 8th overall pick in 2021, Horn is already one of Carolina's defensive stars, as he is eyeing elite status this season after the Panthers ranked dead last in many categories, points allowed and yards surrendered, last season. In fact, their 534 points allowed set an NFL record for a season. You don't want nothing like that to happen again. So, now Horn and his team are getting ready for a memorable good year. On the other hand, Travis Hunter's long-awaited NFL debut is coming soon, too. And it begins when the Jaguars kick off the 2025 season at home, setting the stage for a high-stakes clash against the Carolina Panthers. But before that, on the August 1st episode of Up and Adams, Horn sat with Kay Adams and spoke on facing Hunter in their September 7th showdown. In the discussion, Jaycee Horn gave props to his Week 1 opponent. "I think Travis a special talent," he admitted. "Though they stand on opposite sidelines now, the roots run deep." Horn enters the season after a breakout year with 68 tackles, 13 passes defended, 2 sacks, and a pick. If he levels up again, the Panthers' defense could hit elite status. Horn has all-pro dreams, and to get there, he knows facing guys like Travis is part of the grind, and for that, he is excited, too. But Horn made one thing clear. While he respects the rookie, he's not giving him any special treatment. "I'm also here to play," he said firmly. That competitive edge came through in his tone. "I approached Travis like every other receiver," he added. Still, beneath the rivalry, there's a shared past. Though they suited up for different schools, Hunter for Colorado and Horn for South Carolina, their paths first crossed long ago. "I'm from Gwinnett County and he went to high school out there," Horn shared. He revealed there has been a connection dating back to Hunter's high school days, and, "So, I always been a fan of his game, and we even had a little bit of a relationship dating back to when he was in high school. So, yeah, I'm going to approach it like every other receiver. I definitely respect his game, but I'm going to come to play as well. So, it'll be a fun matchup." All in all, beneath the rivalry, the respect is there, making the September 7th matchup interesting for all. But before that, on the same show, Panthers coach Dave Canales gave clarity on roster positioning, signaling a new chapter in Carolina's second training camp under his watch. Dave Canales' starter plans against Travis Hunter's team and the rest of the opponents. Dave Canales has made a clear shift in approach as the Panthers head into preseason. When asked about starters like Bryce Young and first-round pick Teteroa McMillan, he gave a firm response. "Absolutely," Canales said. "My plan is to play a series or two with the starters for the first 2 preseason games." He explained that the reps extend beyond the field. "It's the night before, it's the morning of, it's what you eat, it's how you mentally prepare." This is a big change from last season. Back then, Young and many starters didn't touch the field in preseason. The focus was on injury prevention as they adjusted to a brand-new offensive scheme. But the results were brutal. Bryce Young and the offense stumbled out of the gate. The growing pains were evident, and by week 3, Young found himself benched. Canales clearly took notes from that rocky start. Now, the preseason will give fans a preview. The connection between Young and McMillan is heating up at camp, and it's time to test it in-game. Canales is giving them time to build chemistry before the bullets are live. "The sky's the limit for this group," he said. "This is going to be a very competitive team. I don't think people are going to want to play us by the style of football that we play." Young is also projected for a long-term contract. There's evidence to support the hype. In last year's final preseason game, Canales let the first-team offense roll. Young responded by completing 6 of 8 passes for 70 yards and a touchdown. That drive covered 12 plays and set the tone. "My expectations are really high for this group," Canales added. And now, the Panthers are ready for Week 1, and fans should also buckle up as not only Carolina, Jaguars' Travis Hunter is finally settling into his role, too. The tension that had quietly simmered between 2 electrifying young talents in football, The Carolina Panthers breakout cornerback Jalen Scott and Colorado Buffalo-turned-NFL sensation Travis Hunter finally boiled into the open. But it didn't explode. Instead, it evolved. And it all came to a head just hours after Panthers head coach Dave Canales confirmed a pivotal roster update, a starting role for Scott in Week 1 of the regular season. The update may have looked like a routine football decision on paper, but behind the scenes, it sparked a narrative that blended rivalry, respect, and redemption. A rivalry born in college stardom. To understand the heat behind this moment, one must trace the roots to a crisp October afternoon in 2023. Travis Hunter, the do-it-all athlete from Colorado who played both ways with an almost mythic presence, had torched Jalen Scott, then with Georgia Tech, for a 57-yard touchdown. Cameras caught Hunter mouthing, "Too easy," as he backpedaled into the end zone. Scott never forgot. And neither did fans. What followed were social media squabbles, subtle jabs in interviews, and memes that never truly died. It became the stuff of college football folklore, a subplot wrapped in the wider narrative of two rising stars bound for the NFL. Now, as fate would have it, they're both in the pros, and their teams are slated to face each other in the preseason opener. Dave Canales plays his hand. At Thursday's press conference, Panthers HC Dave Canales didn't mince words. "We've seen enough," he said. "Jalen has taken the next step. His physicality, his command, his attitude, we're giving him the keys to the defense on the perimeter." The confirmation that Scott would be starting cornerback came with significant implications. It was an endorsement of not only his talent but his readiness to go head-to-head with the league's rising stars, including Travis Hunter, who'd just been drafted by the Atlanta Falcons. Reporters were buzzing. Would Scott take the opportunity to reignite the rivalry? Would he use this as a platform for revenge? Instead, what came next was far more mature and surprising. "No bad blood," says Scott. Moments after practice, under the late Carolina sun, Jalen Scott faced a semicircle of beat reporters who couldn't resist the obvious question. "Are you looking forward to lining up against Travis again?" one asked. Scott adjusted his gloves, cracked a small grin, and leaned on the back of a folding chair. "I mean, who wouldn't want to test themselves against a guy like Travis?" he began. "But this idea of a rivalry, it's more media than reality. We're competitors. That's it. No bad blood."